Guys, welcome back. Welcome to the Ready, Set, Blow podcast, episode 356. Rate, review, subscribe. Keep doing what you're doing. Love you guys. Shout out to all the new YouTube listeners. Got a first-time guest in the house. A young pup, my guy, Anthony Stiriti. The most Italian kid I know in comedy.
For real.
At least in LA.
In LA, for sure. Yeah.
Well, I met your brother the other night at the Improv. It's Anthony and Sonny Stiriti. Tony and Sonny.
Yeah.
Do you got like a brother named Giuseppe?
No, that was our priest growing up.
Oh.
Father Giuseppe.
Okay.
But now, yeah, my brother is like scary Italian though. My brother, you see, like.
I mean, you guys both look so alike.
For real?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, I know he looked like you right away.
Really?
But he definitely had a more Italian hairstyle.
Oh yeah.
You know, he looked like he was ready to go to Karma down on the Jersey Shore.
Yeah. He's got the hairstyle and he's got just the demeanor, the Italian demeanor. You know?
I mean, he was wearing a chain with a cross on it, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Do you ever get Italian?
All the time, most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone assumes I'm Italian because I have a New York accent and my last name's Valerio and I look like this, but I'm actually Dominican.
That's insane.
Yeah, I get a ton. And I'll fucking lie, man. Like, there's a couple club owners in New York and Cleveland, you know, who are, you know, half gangsters or, you know, or are Italian. I won't say they're half gangsters. But they're like, oh, are you Paisan? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever you want.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Whatever will get me booked here more.
Yeah.
I'll be whatever you want me to be. You want me to be gay? I'll say I'm gay.
You could definitely pass as Italian.
You could definitely pass as gay, too.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Sacramento?
No, dude. So I grew up in, my mom lives in Sacramento right now, but
Okay.
I grew up in the Bay Area and in Italy.
Oh, where in Italy?
Rome.
So your parents like have family in Rome?
Yeah. Rome. And we're also Sicilian.
Okay. Do you guys speak Italian?
I used to speak it really well, but then when I moved back here, I took a lot of Spanish classes and I like minored in Spanish. I got really into it because it was so easy to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
So I just got really into Spanish and then I'm more of a Spanish guy now.
You can speak Italian and Spanish though.
I could understand both. It's tough for me to like put sentences together in Italian, but yeah, dude. It's I've been on the Duolingo.
The little app.
Yeah, I've been taking it. You know, whenever you take a dump, you just.
I wish I'd learned another language as a youth. My father learned English with us.
For real?
Oh yeah, he would like watch Sesame Street with us. I mean, he came here when he was like 14. He came on a boat in 1970, whatever, 78.
Okay, wow.
Which is crazy because they had airplanes. But
Jesus.
But he still came on a boat. He was like one of the last guys into Ellis Island.
But okay, so you have a pretty young dad.
Yeah, I think he's 61.
Wow, dude.
Yeah,
Jeez,
I mean, my parents. I think my father had my sister's the oldest in the family. She's 2 years older than me. I think he had her when he was like 19 or 20. My mom was like 24.
Dude, your dad's younger than my dad, and I'm
an old fuck.
15 years younger than me.
What a nice way to say I'm an old bastard. Dude. Way to do that calculus for the fucking
That's
audience,
insane,
real slow.
though, dude.
I know. Well, you know what can I say? Latin guys like to fuck. But so wait, how much time did you spend? Like, did you live in Rome for like years on end, or did you go for the summers? Or
I was born in the Bay Area. Then when I was young, I moved to Rome until I was like 10. And we came back into the Bay Area.
Okay, when'd you come back? How long were you in Rome?
About almost 6 years.
Oh shit! So you went to like high school out there for a stretch?
No.
Oh no! So you came back when you were 10.
Back when I was 10.
Oh, okay.
So like the whole formative years of like being a kid was in Italy. Like I started playing baseball. Every sport out there is ridiculous. It's not real sport. Like they try to make you.
Except soccer. I'm sure they take that
soccer,
legit.
Yeah, soccer, and then.
Yeah. But if there's a football team, you'd be the best player on the football team, just flat out walking on.
Football, baseball, all that, but yeah, soccer. There's no competition. You can't
fuck with those
let
guys.
You play with them. Yeah, they're so good. All those kids, they got like the long hair. They got they all look like soccer.
They all
players.
got that look. I wonder, like, you know, because obviously, I feel like America's best athletes never go play soccer because there's not enough money in it. If you're born here, baseball, basketball, football pay way better than soccer. Yeah, so of course you're going to gravitate towards those sports, and they're more popular.
100%, yeah.
But like, I wonder, like, what if LeBron James was like a goalie?
I was just
you know what I'm saying?
dude,
He'd be a fucking beast, dude. You wouldn't get anything by him.
Goalie, tight end, he could do anything.
I know, but I'm saying, but like, if our star athletes played soccer,
Yeah.
like if the best athletes from all four major sports in North America said, "Fuck it, I'm going to spend 5 years training just in soccer," we would dust most of Europe. I feel like
you're right.
Because they're just better athletes.
Yeah,
I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo's like a great athlete. He's not going to play in the NFL, or he won't be able to play baseball.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he's great at soccer. He can run.
Yeah, you're right.
But I don't. You know, he's not shooting jump shots like fucking Steph Curry.
Yeah. Dude, in those countries, that's all they do is soccer.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I was saying like those other sports were so weird to get to know because it's like, dude, they taught me baseball in a gym. They would have a slide
Indoors.
Indoors.
They just had like wiffle ball. That was their version of baseball.
They would teach us to slide on like these mats, and it was ridiculous. And like our coach had one eye. It was like the most Italian thing in the world. It was ridiculous. But yeah, baseball is a lot better out here.
Is there a big Italian community in the Bay Area?
Not really, dude.
I wouldn't have thought.
There's bits and pieces. North Beach.
I'd imagine you'd be in Chicago, New York, not fucking,
dude.
Sacramento. It's not like a hotbed of Italian culture.
My dad's from Boston. So my dad's whole family's in Boston. So my dad came out here for work, and my mom and dad met in San Francisco.
Okay,
So
Boston has a big Irish community, or Italian community. That makes sense.
Boston. You've been to the North End?
Of course, man. I lived in Boston for like 6-7 years. That's where I started comedy.
Wow, that's like the best area to hang out.
I loved it, dude. People ask me like, when I moved to Boston after a few years, like, how do you like it coming from New York? Because whatever the fucking Yankees, Red Sox, like I give a shit. But I was like, I actually prefer it to New York, like to live in.
Really?
Well, because it's cleaner, it's smaller, it's more manageable. Cool. It used to be a little bit more cheap or a little bit less expensive than it is now. So it was a fucking steal compared to New York. But no, it was fucking nice, man. It's like a cleaner, smaller New York. Yeah. And I can fuck with that. It's just the people. Dude, New York's like the only city in the world where you'll be surrounded by people and you'll be the loneliest you've ever been in your life.
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
I mean, like, no one will make eye contact with you for a month and a half.
Wow.
If you don't say something to them.
Yeah, but people in Boston get a bad rep, but they're pretty nice. They're not.
They're fucking. Look, there's animals everywhere.
They're normal. They're normal people.
Yeah, well, you know what Boston has that's very old school for many inner cities these days? They have a poor white population. There are housing projects full of just fucking Irish Catholic people still in Boston. Yeah, dude. Whereas like you go to New York and it's all, immigrants or, Latino people or black people in like the public housing. But you go to South Boston, it is just chock full of white trash.
A lot of gangsters, right?
Yeah. I mean, those guys still sit out on the North End on Hanover Street, playing cards and shit out in front of that bakery.
Dude, that's like every Mark Wahlberg, Ben Affleck movie is just poor Boston people, poor white people.
I know. I mean, Mark Wahlberg's entire career is based on other people's worst day. You know what I'm saying? Like, every film he does is a remake of some horrible thing that happened in real life, and he gets to play the hero.
Yeah, dude, you're right.
And I wonder, like, is he producing all this? Is he like, let's just keep an eye on these horrible disasters, these mass shootings and terrorist acts, because it's all like scripts for him. Like he's just hoping for the next one.
Yeah, you're right.
It's pretty anti-American, Mark, if I have to say so myself.
All these movies, I'm thinking of The Fighter, dude, the Patriots. Yeah, dude, they're all
Lone Survivor. Just everyone's. He's profiting on everyone's misery.
Yeah, dude, you're right. Exactly.
And I'm a Mark Wahlberg fan, but
I love Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, but that's interesting. Moving from New York to Boston, you don't see that move often. Because my cousin.
Oh yeah. Everyone goes the other direction.
Move from Boston to New York.
People in Boston are from Boston. That's the thing too. Like in LA and New York, I would say the majority of people you run into, especially in comedy, are not from there.
Yeah.
Everyone in Boston is from Boston. I was like weird for having been from New York. It's very parochial that way. Like, a lot of comics stay there. They never leave. They just keep doing comedy because there's enough work going on. They can make it work for themselves.
I might, at some point in my career, I might move to Boston for a minute.
I'd recommend it. I mean, I like living there, dude. I mean, believe me, if I quote unquote made it, I wouldn't be living in LA.
For real?
I'd be living in fucking Denver or Phoenix, somewhere nice. I wouldn't be living in this shithole.
Those are two good spots.
Yeah, I love Boston. Boston's a great
place. Boston's great.
Just Chicago. You mentioned Chicago.
I love Chicago.
Chicago's my favorite city.
Chicago's great. Too cold though.
Yeah, but dude, from like April to October, it's the best.
I know. I did that in Boston, man. That is one thing I do miss living in LA and not living on the East Coast in the Northeast is the first day of spring.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. When like the weather finally turns and all the girls are in their sundresses for the first time. Everyone's outside drinking. It's a half day at work, even though no one, said it was. Everyone just took off. It's fucking great, dude.
Yeah, dude. Those were, I was in high school. So grew up in the Bay Area. It was pretty, it wasn't like here. It was a lot colder.
Yeah.
So it was like.
We're in the Bay.
Pleasanton, East Bay. So it was right outside of San Francisco.
I've been out there before.
You were Tommy T's, the comedy club?
I haven't done Tommy T's yet, but I want to. But I know where it is. But I've done I've done all over there, Sunnyvale and
Rooster Fish.
Rooster T. Feathers.
Dude. So the East Bay, you're like 30 minutes from San Francisco, not even. And once the weather would get better, we'd say it's like what's it called? Short season.
Yeah.
The girls start wearing short shorts in high school. That's like the best feeling ever.
Yeah, dude.
So it was like yoga pants season, and then turned into short shorts season. And
Yoga pants and
a high
Uggs to
school
short
kid, dude,
shorts
pumped on that.
and flip flops.
Yeah. Dude.
I wonder, are the booty shorts back?
Yeah, dude.
Because I remember when I was a kid, somewhere in like the mid to late like 2009, 10 area.
Yeah.
There was it came back in a big way, and some girls were wearing them so short you could like see 2/3 of their asshole.
Dude, yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was getting pretty aggressive, and I was pretty happy about it.
Dude, they would have teachers and like office administrators walk around and have the girls go like this.
Oh, to see if it's
if they're longer than their
lengths.
fingertips, which is ridiculous too. Because look how like
yeah, I know. Also, what
what
if you had like some sort of deformity and your arms didn't go past your pockets?
Then you'd be a little slut.
If you're pantsless at school,
yeah, then you're chilling. That'd be amazing.
Did you go to Catholic school?
In Italy, I did. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I feel like every school.
Yeah,
Italy's Catholic school.
Yeah, you're right. It was that was interesting too because it was like I was legitimately like I was an altar boy. It was a whole.
They touch you?
No. I have
Hey, you got to ask, man. You got to ask.
I do a whole bit about how they did it. I was like, what's going on?
You were
man?
the ugly duckling? You felt left out?
Dude, yeah. I was in it every Sunday with altar boy. Was a whole thing. Dude, you never hear of altar girls.
Well, they're allowed now. When I was a kid, it wasn't allowed.
Yeah,
now they allowed it. I don't
grew
know.
up Catholic, no.
You might be young enough where they started popping up.
Okay,
but not in Italy. Not in Italy though.
Okay.
In the United
Yeah,
States, in Italy they fucking go old school. They don't play that
Dude,
shit.
it's so old school.
Yeah.
I was not baptized.
Confirmed?
What's is
Communion?
it confirmed or communion? I think it was communion at this church called Santa Susanna, which is like the most famous church in Italy. Which is like you take that stuff for granted, you don't think of anything of it, but looking back, it's like that was my life. That was
Yeah, it was like scene out of The Godfather.
Yeah, it was insane. I think my brother was baptized there, and I was confirmed there.
Yeah. Dude, so did you go like CCD class? Did you go all the way through?
Yeah.
You were fully confirmed and all that?
When I got back to America, yeah, we were CCD every single week. Which, dude,
how fucking
sucks
dumb
out
was those
here.
classes?
It's so stupid, dude. So you could just show up and get confirmed and go. Like, you don't need to do all those classes.
I don't know what that's what I'm saying. The class, I didn't really understand. Like, what are we learning? Like, I feel like we went over the same material every year. Like,
Yeah,
Jesus,
dude.
Jesus died for your sins. Go to church on Sunday.
And it wasn't a whole
Respect
lot of
your
Bible
parents.
stuff.
Yeah, when I
And
just
don't
got- I
fuck
just got- I
anybody
just got
that,
mad by
that
going to
you are
Sunday
married
school.
to.
Yeah.
I got mad by going to Sunday school, for Catholicism and everything. I was like, why is this taking up my weekend?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Sunday was the worst. But for me, CCD classes were on Wednesday. So I went to New York City Public School, and I would get out. I would get out from school an hour early on Wednesdays to go to like a 2-hour CCD class at my local parish, St. Matthias. So it was kind of like, oh, I get to leave for the last hour early on school on Wednesday, but then I had to sit in class for 2 more hours learning about fucking Jesus and the Jonah and the whale, and there was like workbooks. I'm like, what are we?
Dude, it's the worst.
It's the biggest
And it's
scam
like
on earth.
somebody's mom is teaching the class. It's not even like a real teacher. It's so dumb.
All we look forward to is playing basketball in the gym while we waited for like the teachers to
In
show
the
up.
old grimy gym that hadn't been renovated in years. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it was weird because it smelled like the church. You know how church has that smell?
Oh, yeah.
But it was a basketball court.
Yeah.
So it smelled like incense. It felt like it was a sin shooting a 3-pointer.
Yeah, you can't even. Yeah, you don't feel right playing basketball there. Yeah, like dude. Yeah, that's.
I think the weirdest sacrament has got to be what is it? Confession.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about the setup for that. Like, all right, put it this way: if the Catholic Church were, let's say, McDonald's, right?
Okay.
And and the manager is like, and you're allowed to work there at 8 because that's when you make your, when you confess for the first time to the priest. So you're allowed to work at McDonald's as an 8-year-old child, which is already a crime.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then your manager's like, all right, come into my office, dim the lights, and tell me all of your deepest, darkest secrets and all the things you feel guilty about. You would like any person would be like, that seems like a real bad situation to put a child in with an adult who might take advantage of them.
You're right.
A priest could use all that stuff against you.
You're right.
You think he's a conduit to God, right? Which makes him even bigger than your boss at McDonald's and the fucking McDonald's manager. Like, whoever thought that was a good idea didn't think it through. Like,
right.
There was bound to be trouble.
You're right, and it teaches kids that like you could do anything and then just go to confession afterwards. Because it's like in my head, I was like, okay, it was almost like a marker. Like every time you had confession, you started over, right? You do confession
the
once
fresh
a month,
slate.
fresh slate. you confess all your sins for the
right.
month, and then you're all set for the rest of the month. So it's like you can do whatever you want as long as you confess it.
Straight
as long as you
up.
tell this
Yeah.
old priest. It's
Yeah,
like,
see, but that's the thing. Like, I mean, I assume you lied to your priest.
oh yeah, dude.
Right? You lied.
Yeah, I
Or you
definitely lied.
omit stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would. So it would actually help me from not doing something. Like, I got to tell this old pervert when I get in there next month. You know, like I don't want to share this with him, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
you know.
that's
But a lot of it, I just wouldn't tell him the full truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Because you think that these people aren't real people. They don't do.
He's a fucking man.
Like they don't have.
He jerks off too, just like I do. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's all they can do. Right?
that's what I'm saying. That's weird that you have to like confess to a priest that you masturbated. Meanwhile, the priest can only masturbate, unless he's of course having sex with one of his parishioners.
Exactly. And he's a human being. Of course, you gotta come.
One of my first confessions was, hey, I masturbated to Catherine Zeta-Jones in Entrapment.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
The laser
yeah.
scene?
Huh? Yeah, the laser scene, exactly. And then it was just super weird between the priest and I.
And he
after
goes,
that.
you know
I was
what,
like,
son?
yeah,
Me
I
too.
I can't do this anymore.
He's like, fuck it, you want to go watch it now, buddy?
Yeah. Oh my God, I got on the repeat. Let's go to the Dollar Theater, son.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, dude. There was a lot of that. You know, I feel like the jokes about the Catholic Church and boys have been going on for years, because everyone's known about it, right? There's been many jokes made about it, and then obviously, you know, somewhere in the early 2000s, they actually started to fucking publish this stuff in newspapers, which they hadn't before.
Yeah.
Of course, not a single priest has gone to jail for it yet, which is atrocious to me.
It's separation between church and state, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. How are they protected?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, never jail, just moved around.
I know. That's a weird thing too, because I guess there's like a statute of limitations on molestation and rape, but not on murder. I'm like, maybe we want to bump up the statute of limitations on child rape.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, he did it, but it was 30 years ago. I'm like, that kid is ruined.
Yeah, exactly.
You ended that child's life.
And the kid's not going to say anything until he's 30 years old.
Well, until he realizes what he's been taken advantage of, and then other people have come out and he has some support around him. Right?
Dude, you never actually, like, I've been Catholic for a while, and to be honest with you, I've never actually met anybody that has honestly been abused by a priest.
Not to my knowledge, neither have I, but I also grew up in inner city New York. And
which I feel like it's common there.
Yeah, but not, and it was the neighborhood I grew up in was very, it was very sort of protected neighborhood, and there was mob guys in there.
Yeah.
And if there was word that some priest was touching kids, the mafia allows crime not where they live. You know what I'm saying? And especially child rape. Yeah. They don't play that. They don't play fucking with children and fucking with women. So it was like these guys, as far as I know, never got in any trouble. But there was one Monsignor who was, we were a little suspect about.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about him doing something, but he kind of creeped me out, so I kept my distance.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. You gotta. Oh man, that's tough, dude. It's a weird thing looking back to, if anybody, because I was in Italy, and that was a whole
it's
different
a
thing out
huge
there.
part of the
And
culture.
it's huge out there,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if anybody out there actually got. Oh my God.
So since like the Spotlight story broke, the famous one in Boston, the archdiocese all over the world, in Spain, Italy, Rome, Naples, Palermo, bunch of guys, had been revealed to have been moved around under this, naughty priest fucking traveling circus that they were doing at the Vatican. Jesus. But, it's one of those things like, all right, so now we know that it's happened and they're paying all these settlements, but no one's paid the price.
No.
Yeah. No one's gone to jail. It's like with the banks in 2008. It's like, oh yeah, they took a bunch of loans from the government, they paid it all back, but no one went to jail. Everyone kept their bonus. Of course, they're going to do it again. There's nothing stopping these people from, you have to get tough on them. And it's weird that the Catholic Church is not throwing them out and something.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
They just keep them in the fold. They just retire them. It's like, don't you defrock these fucking guys? Like if you found out they were sleeping with an adult female parishioner and they had a relationship, they could lose, their status as clergy.
Yeah.
But because they fucked a child, they're going to get a pass? It's crazy, dude. It's insane.
But the Catholic Church is just run by other people that used to be priests. It's just they're priests, and then they're cardinals and the Pope, whatever.
It's actually pretty sick, dude. They have their own country.
Oh yeah,
they have like UN representation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I used to go there all the time when I was a little kid. That was like a whole thing. Sistine Chapel.
Did you ever see I heard the Sistine Chapel's pretty underwhelming.
It's not. It's nothing crazy.
I heard it's tiny little rooms.
Especially as a little kid, dude, that was our whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
We would always go and sightsee and everything. We didn't care. Like now, looking back, he's like, you probably want to go see those things now. When I was 8 years old, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, when you're in elementary school, you want to go to like the science museum where you can play with all the exhibits.
Dude, yeah,
right.
They have one
You don't
in
want to
the
go see
area.
the fucking Mona Lisa. Who gives a shit about that old broad?
Dude, yeah.
You know,
There was this thing in Italy. I forget what it's called, but it's you put your hand in it. It's a guy's mouth.
Whoa, sounds like a real weird glory hole we're talking about here, dude.
What is it called?
You put your wiener in it, and it's a guy's mouth.
Yeah, no, it's
His
a
name
mouth.
is.
It's like a
His name is
rock.
Father Luigi. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, dude, Father Luigi. But you're supposed to like. It's a myth that he could bite your hand.
Oh, close it.
Yeah, it can close, and it's like a big rock.
And when
You
you're a
put your
kid, that
hand
shit
in-
works.
Yeah, you're scared about it. But I forget what it's called. It's a very.
Did you put your hand in it?
Oh yeah.
You put your brother's head in.
Yeah, tested him out first. My brother hated sightseeing, though. He would always not want to go sightseeing. Like, I was a little more go with the flow. I didn't care, but like my brother hated sightseeing, and because we'd go like the Spanish Steps. There's so many cool things to see. My parents wanted
But that's
to
the
see.
thing. Kids don't care about architecture. That's the kind of thing. Oh, the Coliseum. They built that 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you walk up like that building's all fucked up. Let's get out of here.
Yeah,
You know,
let's go get some pizza.
What's with
dude.
the old building? Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go get some pizza.
Yeah,
You know, like,
exactly.
let's go to fucking gelato or something.
Exactly, dude. The gelato there, I've never had better.
That's why I want to go to Italy, dude. The food looks incredible.
The food, and dude, you'll go to Italy. You could just eat pizza, pasta, and gelato every time, and you'll lose weight.
How's
'Cause the
that?
food out there is so pure and fresh compared to here. It's all processed. Everything you get here is processed.
Yeah.
So out there, it's so.
Is it really
fresh.
that big of a difference though?
It's a huge difference.
Wow.
And like almost anything you get out here is processed some way.
Yeah.
Unless you're eating, farm to fork, whatever.
Yeah, farm to fill one of these.
Yeah.
Unless you're one of these vegan pussies that I hear about.
Even that, I don't get these vegans. That's just, to me, that's more unhealthy, being vegan.
Well, it's more difficult to get a full battery of like the nutrition you need. You have to eat so much volume, and so often, and so many different things to like get all of the nutritional value you would get if you could just have a steak.
Yeah.
Exactly. Twice a week, not even every day, just twice. You don't eat it every day. And they also fail to mention that like like most vegans, not every vegan eats purely organic food grown in their garden.
Yeah.
Like, vegans have to eat factory farmed stuff.
And it's all processed.
It's all processed. It strip mines the country.
Yeah.
I mean, we have water problems left and right. I mean, like vegans act like, oh, if everyone was vegan, pollution would be lower and everyone's heart rate would be fine. It's like, no, man, we'd have a lot of other fucking problems. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, dude.
we have a lot of problems feeding people now.
Yeah, dude.
With food waste and all that. We'd have a lot more if nobody ate meat.
dude.
Meat's a great way to store calories.
It's the best. And dude, all these like replacements, like soy. Dude, soy gives you tits. It's making.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I gotta tell my lady it's just like eating more soy.
Yeah, dude. For real. That's soy. What is it? pea protein? That's all terrible for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like in Italy, a big part of their health comes with the lifestyle. Mm-hmm. I feel like European lifestyles are just way more balanced than the United States.
Yeah.
Dude, I went to Argentina for the first time in like 2007. It's not even, it's obviously more European than.
It's basically Italy. Dude, Argentina and Italy are so
it was
similar.
basically Germany.
Yeah, dude.
It's like a bunch of Spanish speaking Germans down there.
Right.
But it looks like a very French, very Western European kind of town. But they had siesta.
Yeah.
Dude, from 2 to 4 o'clock to 2 to 5 o'clock, everything just closed.
Yeah.
Everyone just went home.
Yeah.
And then you get up, and some people go back to work until like 7 or 8. And then you go to dinner. Like if you went to dinner before 10 o'clock, you were a fucking loser in Argentina.
Yeah, dude.
You were they knew you were a tourist or an old person.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this is awesome, man. A fucking 2-hour nap in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Like this rules. No one of everyone, and again, in Argentina, everyone was skinny. Everyone, they didn't have gyms where we do. They don't lift weights like we do because we're not, trying to combat all the obesity in the country. But everyone was thin. Everyone was good looking. They all, no one looked that stressed.
No.
Nobody
looks, and that's the thing about Italy too. It's just you'll have 9 espressos a day. You'll have
just beaked out, smoke 4 packs.
Yeah, you'll smoke every day. You'll have a bunch of bread, a bunch of pasta, carbs, but you're so healthy.
Yeah. Well, they do a lot of walking around too.
A lot of walking
man.
too. Yeah.
You're
all tan. Everybody's great shape.
Yeah. What are the chicks like in Italy?
Very attractive.
Are they?
I wasn't old
How are
enough
their
to do-
teeth? I'm always concerned because any country where there's a lot of smoking, I'm always worried about the teeth situation.
Well, Italian women don't have great hygiene.
What?
They don't.
What do you mean by
They
that?
notoriously are just hairy armpits.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Even the hot
They don't
ones?
smell that great. A lot of them. Yeah, my dad dated a woman before my mom in Italy, and she was
Gumar?
Yeah, she was not great hygiene. And Italian women only like Italian women. If you marry them, give them kids, and buy them a nice dress, you can do whatever. You can cheat on them. You can do whatever you want.
Oh man,
It's a weird culture. It's a weird culture out there. You just have to buy them a really nice dress, give them kids.
Give them kids. That's where I break down on that.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
How about I get you a car, no kids, no dress, and I can sneak around.
Yeah, exactly. Probably.
But that's also a very European thing too. I mean, it's like that in France. Having a girlfriend on the side isn't, a big
very
thing.
common.
But I wonder if it works in both directions. Like, do Italian men accept the fact that their wife might step out once in a while?
I don't think so.
All right, cool. Then I'm moving to Italy.
Yeah, right. It's probably like very once in a while though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know in France it's more like a don't ask, don't tell kind of thing. Like, if you're sneaking around, keep it quiet. Don't embarrass me.
Yeah.
That's really which that also I feel like kind of works. Like,
Don't embarrass me.
Yeah, just if you're gonna go do something, be quiet about it.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I do want to live in Italy at some point again.
That'd be
As
cool.
an adult.
Dude, I mean, I've had that fantasy. I've talked about it on the podcast before about like being a famous comedian, but in a completely different country.
Yeah, dude, that'd be so sick.
Like if I was able to speak Italian, just to be like a big Italian comedic act, but just live in the States, it'd be fucking awesome, dude. Be the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
It'd be like, what's his name from France? I'm forgetting his name right now. Gad Emila.
Okay.
He's like the biggest comic. He sells like fucking arenas in France.
For real?
Yeah, but he lives in New York now, and he does comedy around New York, and he's working in in the States, but he's like bigger than Dave Chappelle in France.
Wow.
But over here, he's just another he's like another comic.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah, which would be awesome. Like I'd be so sick if I was the biggest comedian in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But I lived in LA.
Dude, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I spent 3 months a year touring in New Zealand, come back here and be like, yeah.
Dude, that'd be amazing.
I know.
And there's I did a show in Vegas last month, and my dad lives in Vegas.
Is that bottle over?
So, oh yeah.
Sorry.
And my
Your dad lives in Vegas. All right.
and so
I
he's
got a hook
pretty,
up in Vegas.
My dad's pretty tapped in with the Italian community out in Vegas.
What does your dad do before you get into your Vegas story?
He works for the Raiders out in Vegas. So he's the head of the security for the Raiders.
Oh, all right. Nice. That's sick.
It's a cool little job. And then
I was going to say he's a bookie.
he's
He's a bookie for the mob.
That would be sick.
That checks out.
That's what we can't talk about.
You tell people.
Yeah. No, but so all these Italian restaurant owners came to our show in Vegas, and afterwards, the guy loved it. The guy had such a great time. And afterwards, he was like, "You should do comedy in Italy. There's only like 2 guys out in Italy.
That's what I'm saying.
Like 2 big comedians in Italy. That's it.
But can you speak enough Italian?
I could figure it out, I think.
See, but that's also a benefit though too. If you can speak the language, but you have an accent. Because think about it in reverse, right? We laugh at guys with accents all the time. I mean, Ismo, right? Great comic. Most of his act is about how America's different than where he came from. Like you see, name any Asian comic. Most is like, oh, it's different over there than it is here. There's like a whole 20 minutes on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you moved to Italy, you'd have a whole 20 minutes on how the Italians are weird compared to you.
You're right. That could be, yeah.
And if you, like I said, if you spoke enough Italian, but with but it was chopped, like that they can understand it. Yeah. But you had like the weird accent, they might find that funny.
You're right.
Yeah, it's not like France though, because I know in France they get real fucking pissed if you don't speak French well. They like kind of mock you for even trying.
French is hard too.
French is disgusting. People have said that to me 1,000 times. Women always. Oh, French is such a beautiful language. It's my favorite language. I'm like, French sounds like fucking nails on a chalkboard. I hate French. It's ugly ass language.
It's disgusting. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I never like hearing
whispering and shit and weird tongue motions. Yeah, Italian sounds good. Portuguese, I think, sounds the best.
Okay, Portuguese is up. Dude, what were we just talking about? Not Portuguese. Right before you said.
Language is French.
Oh, French. I couldn't like a hot French girl speaking French. I don't think that's attractive.
No. Her speaking French in the bedroom, boner killer, dude.
That's supposed to be like the city of love, right? That's supposed to be like.
Man, that's some bullshit tourist, bureau thing that they made up.
Bureau.
Fucking they have the city that never sleeps in New York. It's like, I don't know, man, there's a lot of homeless people sleeping around on the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know, like, I don't know what you're talking about. All these fucking, the City of Angels or, fucking Hollywood or dreams come true. Dreams come to Hollywood to fucking die.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, more dreams have died in this town than have come true.
Dude,
Don't come here if you have a dream.
Dude, I saw a hot girl on the way here on the side of the freeway, just homeless. She was a hot girl.
A hot homeless woman.
A hot homeless woman.
That's the first I've ever heard of that.
For real?
Because I've had a theory. I had a theory about this. That's why there's so few female homeless people as compared to homeless men. It's because they have a vagina. You can always find a home if you have a vagina. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you're a hot girl.
Oh, yeah.
Hot homeless girls.
Yeah, you're really
They're called
fucking
porn
up.
stars.
Where was this? Hey, Anthony, where was this homeless girl?
What's the mile marker on the highway?
Was it at the intersection of death by us?
Yeah, dude. Right off the 101, getting onto the 101 from Vineland.
All right, guys.
I think I know which hot girl you're talking about.
For
I
real?
saw her on the way here too.
Really?
So she is hot.
Yeah, she is hot.
Okay, I thought he was exaggerating. She was a hot. I was like, oh, she's just
she's
not an unattractive homeless
She's
woman.
pretty cute. She's
Dude,
pretty
I
cute.
almost crashed my car looking. I was like, Jesus Christ.
There's a
They're-
good question.
They're everywhere, home and homeless.
There's a good
unfortunately.
question for you. Would you have sex with a homeless woman if she was attractive to you?
No.
No?
Right now, no. Because I could figure it out. I could get laid without a homeless girl
I mean,
Tomorrow's my birthday, so sure.
happy birthday. I mean, I would shower her first.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
You know?
the hygiene is important.
Yeah, and I'd shave her, not like Italy with the hairy armpits. You got to take all that shit.
That's too much work, dude. Just
I've worked harder for some fucking
real?
trim. What? You haven't? You're
Harder than that? Harder
you're
than-
telling me you haven't? How long does that take? 15 minutes
shave
to throw her in the shower and give her a razor?
I wouldn't let a homeless girl in my home.
That cost me
shower
like
her,
that's
shave
also
her.
a cheap date. It's like fucking $4 for a razor, dude.
Jesus Christ.
I've paid more. I've driven farther. I've wasted more time and money.
But I look at that as like a wild animal. Like she could just snap at any moment and just start going.
Yeah, but-
she could have rabies. She could have.
Yeah, but that's why you don't give her the drugs till after the sex.
Give her drugs. Yeah.
And then
You
kick 'em
promise
out.
her the drugs after the sex.
Then kick them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you throw it out the window so they chase it.
Yeah, dude.
She just takes a flying leap for the heroin out the window.
Tell her to go home. She just walks right outside her.
Go home and just open the door.
All right, bye.
The world is her home.
Yeah. Just sleeps on your front porch.
Yeah, dude. I think it's almost impossible for an attractive woman to be homeless. They have so many options.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
You got to really fuck
Even
up.
an attractive guy doesn't have that many options.
Yeah, Vineland's doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Violence, yeah. Yeah, dude, you're fucking up as a girl. Because you could go to 24-hour fitness, shower up,
Start an OnlyFans.
start an OnlyFans, meet a guy, go on a date that night.
Yes.
Like, figure it out, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
Get your free meals in.
Oh,
women are only constrained by their standards.
Mm-hmm.
If she keeps lowering her standards, she will be taken care of eventually. That's as simple as that.
Good point.
You know, men are pursuing them, and they're being pursued. The question is whether or not they want to accept it. You know, like if she's willing to hook up with a 2, there's a million 2s out on the street right now. You know, that'll
Yeah,
be jumping at it.
you're right. You're a good-looking guy, though. You don't have to stoop to a homeless girl.
Listen, man, my
you can
personality
figure it
does me damage.
For real?
I'm not that good looking, and my personality just makes it worse.
So have you been on dates where you can just tell the girl is just like, oh, Jesus?
No. Look,
said something?
I've had some success with women. It always goes in fits and starts, right? Like sometimes I'm busy, I don't have time. Sometimes I'm dating, you know. But there have definitely been times where the physical attraction wasn't the problem. It was just my like she didn't like me, which is fine because if she didn't like me, I thought she was uptight.
Okay.
But it's rare that you. It's very rare that I would be attracted to someone who isn't attracted to me.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
like
I'm-
that.
you know what
You're
I'm
right.
saying?
The attractive part is that they're attracted to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I
Yeah,
understand
but
that, yeah.
it's also a personality thing, right? Like if she likes my personality, I'm going to like hers. If she doesn't like my personality, my sense of humor, I'm obviously going to lose interest in her because she's not into she's not in the same sort of wavelength that I am. She's not,
Yeah.
we're just not meshing well.
Okay.
So it kind of works itself out.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But certainly, I've said it before, man. What attracts me the most to a woman is her attraction to me. It's like, oh, she's into it.
Okay.
You know, like you want that reciprocation.
That makes sense.
Right? I'm sure I want her to be physically attractive to me, but if she doesn't like me and isn't warm towards me and open and kind and inviting and showing all the traits that I like, what the fuck am I?
She's uptight. Yeah.
Yeah. She said, what's wrong with you? I thought, you know, if you don't like this, you know, the train's leaving the station, babe. You get on or get off.
that.
You know, like it's kind of that deal.
Did you have more success with women in Boston or LA?
Probably more in Boston, but because in LA, we had the pandemic.
Yeah.
I haven't been trying. And the girls out here are kind of girls that I'm not really into. Like, I'm not into these kind of club rats and shit. Like you go to Bootsy Bellows and like all those, and those girls are the attractive girls. I'm not into them.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got the yoga girls out here, the Reiki healers. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. So
what'd you say? The Reiki?
The Reiki healers.
Okay.
You know, they're into their crystals, and astrology. Okay. You know, they get into that and I start making fun of it and they're like, oh, and they get all uptight. I'm like, all right, well then, not doing this. Yeah. So there's like whole swaths of women in LA. You know, like the kind of women that come to LA aren't my kind of gals.
And you were a finance bro, right? In LA,
finance bro. Yeah, that became a term after I stopped doing it.
Okay.
But I'd done it for 11 years, so I stopped in 2016. I'm doing a little bit now, but you know, I was in finance. But when I was in finance in Boston, and that was getting a lot of play then.
Okay.
I mean, because I was just out of my relationship with my ex wife or whatever. I was, working. I was living alone in a beautiful condo.
Nice. Where at?
In the South End.
Nice.
Yeah, a nice loft condo, fucking fancy, fancy,
Fuck yeah, dude.
Dorian Gray shit. And I was running through them then, like
I was running through.
Because in finance, it's not a lot. I mean, there's some good looking guys, but not, not a lot, and certainly not,
Yeah.
I mean, most of them are fucking nerds. They're not.
But dude, why?
Charismatic.
I've noticed that out here that guys that are in finance and stuff like that out here, girls love them. They're not attractive. They're just
the money.
Nerdy dudes.
Girls out here like money.
But girls, why is a girl
like money and fame? If you can pull them up in some way, that's what they want. The girls here are like climbers. That's the big difference between the girls in New York. And I'll say this, and I'm certain of it. I feel like New York has just as many attractive women as LA, but those women are actual professionals. They have options. They're not influencers. You know how many hot attorneys I know in New York?
Wow.
I dated like 2 divorce attorneys in New York, fucking smoking hot. That's sick. Doctors, smoking hot. Women in finance, smoking hot.
Wow.
But in LA, all the hot girls like, oh, what do you do? I'm a TikTok star and I show my pussy on the internet on the side. I show pictures of my beaver for $5 on OnlyFans. That's my job. I'm like, all right, well, that's cool, but this one has a law degree and she looks just like you. So I think I'm gonna go with this winner.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And not to say there's anything wrong with OnlyFans, but if that's not the only thing they do in New York. Like women in New York have real professions. Yeah. Like real bad bitches that have things going on for themselves.
Yeah, that's better.
Women in LA seem like they want a man to take care of them. Women in New York can take care of themselves and they just want a man to be nice to them.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
I like that.
That's the difference.
I want an OnlyFans girl out here because they make so much money. I want to date one and just have her.
Oh my God, that's the dream.
I want to flip it around.
That's the dream, my friend.
I met this girl the other day. She said she makes $60,000 a month.
Dude, a buddy of mine's dating a girl who takes pictures of her feet, only her feet on OnlyFans, makes $100,000 a month.
Wow.
She's Asian, so there's a kink for it, but still, I mean, she's not even having sex on camera with other guys.
That's insane.
She just takes pictures of her feet.
I'm
like, that's the best deal ever.
But dude, can you tell from pictures of her feet that she's Asian?
Well, her face is in it.
Oh, her face is in it. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like displaying her feet.
That's so weird, bro.
Yeah.
I don't get the feet thing at all.
Neither do I, dude. I joke about it on stage. I told you.
Never understand.
Yeah.
First,
I know people that are legitimately into it.
I got a couple buddies who are legitimately into it, and I don't know where it comes from. They don't either. It's like, where did that start? I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like, I think porn put that into your head.
Yeah, but then again, we're on the same Pornhub. I never.
I know, but you stumble across, maybe like one video happens once. Guys like, ooh, and I want to see more. And then start Googling foot jobs, But for me, like I said, look, a hand job from a woman is terrible. I can't imagine her being better with her feet.
Yeah.
You know who gives the best hand job on earth? Me. I got a lot of practice. I got a lot of practice around my own fucking piece.
Me. Yeah, you're right, around my own piece.
If I wanted a hand job, I'd check in with old number one. I'm not gonna fucking ask some other girl. And two, like their feet, like even if they have nice feet, they're not as soft as hands because they're walking on the ground.
Yeah, I don't even know what nice feet are, bro. I couldn't tell you, that girl has nice feet.
That's what I'm saying. She doesn't have hairy knuckles, so she's got nice feet. That's it.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And I say this in my act, you can't get enough friction with a foot job because they have no thumbs. That's why if you want a foot job, you got to get jerked off by a chimp.
Yeah. Well, I think that must be why they like it, because it's so unorthodox and it's so tough for them to.
It's so
to
weird.
Do it. Yeah, that's probably so hard.
Also, like, I want a foot job. It's like, how about you just use your mouth?
Yeah, dude.
I haven't met a guy that doesn't like a blow job. So if you're into foot jobs, why don't you skip that and go to the better
Yeah,
part?
if a blowjob's on the table and you're choosing foot job, you're
Yeah, exactly.
You're an idiot. That's
Yeah,
so weird.
if you have a blow job in one hand and a foot job in the other, and you go foot job, that guy should be watched by the U.S.
dude.
government.
Yeah, dude. What the fuck? That's so bad.
That guy shouldn't be allowed to buy any firearms.
Yeah, that's what we should be doing. We don't let people buy guns if they what? If they've
killed, if they have a felony on the
criminal
conviction.
record.
Yeah.
We should be looking at what you look at porn wise.
Yes, dude. Oh my God. Could you imagine look, the government is capturing all this data one way or the other. And so are all the porn sites, and God knows who can access that, what hackers can get into that. Could you imagine if everyone's porn searches were released? Like if I can Wikipedia Anthony Stiriti and just a list of your top porn searches comes up?
Dude, I don't think we're that.
The ruin that they would do to this country.
I don't think we're that far away from that, though. I feel like that could happen in the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Nowadays, I'm like the first generation this is happening to, where everything you've done since adulthood is recorded on the internet.
Okay.
I got to college and, it was 2005. So Facebook came out in 2006, right? So basically, since my second year in college, social media, like all, bits and pieces of my life have appeared on social media. So you can get a whole chronology of my life if you really wanted to do a dump through, Meta's files or whatever. And I think now, like, unlike our parents, where their sins can go to live in the basement where they belong.
Yeah.
Ours are gonna haunt us, because at any moment, if you become famous enough, or if you become powerful enough in politics or in business, some of this shit could come back to haunt you. Somebody could extort you for something that popped up, a porn search you had, something you posted on the internet years back.
Yep.
So that's hanging over your head. That's why my strategy is to just flood the zone. I say as many ridiculous things as I can on this podcast. I post crazy shit on the internet. So it's like, well, yeah, what did you think?
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly.
You expected more of me?
Exactly.
Didn't I set the bar low enough with my Instagram account that you know what you're going to get if you look into my history?
Yeah, dude. I like that. Yeah.
What did you expect?
It's the people that get in trouble are the people that act like they're perfect and they act like they never do anything wrong. If you're very open about being an asshole or just talking shit, then people aren't going to really.
Well, that's the other thing too. Like, I haven't committed any crimes. I've committed crimes, but nothing major, nothing cancelable. You steal a little bit here and there. Yeah. A little shoplifting at the CVS self-checkout. But I've never sexually assaulted anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm not having anything haunting me in that way. I'm not like these priests fucking, getting molesting or being molested. So there's none of that. Yeah. So it's all just inappropriate jokes and, and saying mean things about people behind their back, which we all do. Like if you really get into my text messages, you trash someone like, so-and-so's being a real pain in my ass, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. I actually, a buddy of mine was joking once on a podcast. They were talking about, it was like 5-6 years ago, and they're talking about the woke thing was really on its full head of steam. And they were making jokes about it. And buddy goes to one of the other guys in the podcast, like, oh, really? You think you're above, all that? Like, give me your cell phone. Let me do a search for the N-word through your text messages. He goes, no.
Wow.
That's like, hilarious. It's like, because I'm sure you've used it. Dude, it might not be in a bad way. You might be quoting a song or joking with a buddy.
Yeah.
But it's, we all have these things hiding in our closet. Do you want every sexual experience you've had put on full public display? No. Yeah, dude, no. There's always a humiliating sex story if you're an adult. But we all have them.
We're at this weird time where everybody's acting like perfect too. It's you got to act like you got to pretend you're perfect so the mob doesn't come for you almost in a weird way.
Yeah, the fear of the mob is causing you to pretend you're something that you're not.
Yeah, which is retarded. It's ridiculous. It's just like it doesn't make any sense.
And the thing that is really troubling about it is it's the lack of forgiveness. I thought this was a country of second chances and starting over. That's how it was founded. Some people left fucking Europe and said, we want to do it a different way. Let's go over this new place and start over.
Yeah.
New York and America in particular is all about the second chance and redemption. But there's none of that anymore. You make one mistake now, fuck you forever.
Yeah.
But some people get a pass, which I don't get. right? Like Justin Bieber said the N-word all over YouTube.
Did
When
you
he was
really?
14, when he was 14, yeah, nothing came of it.
Wow.
Mark Wahlberg beat a guy into a coma, an Asian guy in a
Asian
coma,
guy, yeah.
over a Chinese food delivery guy over money. I don't see the him standing up and saying stop Asian hate. Yeah, where the fuck is he on this?
Yeah.
Like
You're
some people we just like
You're right, 100%. I'm trying to think who else.
I wonder what Taylor Swift can get away with.
Oh, I heard she's such a bitch.
Do you think she can say the N-word and survive?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm sure she does, dude. She lives in Nashville. She's a Southern. Yeah, dude.
No,
She's
but I'm
for
saying
sure.
you think like the mob won't come for her because her fault. That's the question.
Yeah.
Is the woke mob stronger than the Swifties?
Probably, dude, because
Very good question.
They're all 14-year-old girls, right? They don't care.
I mean, dude, 14-year-old girls have this world by the nuts right now. I mean, like everything's for the children. Future is feminine. All this. They have they're like the most aggrieved group, right? I mean, outside of the only way you could be more aggrieved
and yet
than
they all
being
hate
a
each
young
other.
woman is by being also black and lesbian. That's like the pinnacle of the victim Olympics,
Victim Olympics.
whatever you want to call it.
No, you're right. Yeah, and people, dude, this whole woke thing. I think we're turning it around though. I think in 5 years, I think it's gonna be so stupid to be woke. I think it's gonna be so.
Well, the thing is, you hear less and less about it. Like, how I notice is kind of coming to an end is that comics aren't talking about it in their act anymore.
Yeah.
And that's how you know the subject is dead. Just like COVID jokes, right? I haven't had a COVID joke in a year. I heard them at the end of last year because we were coming out of it, right? But now it's like that passed. There's no more woke jokes because that ship is set. Like that trope has been. Comics have wrang all the juice out of that already. So they're like, all right, moving on. So that's how I feel like I know it's the beginning of the end.
Because people like to be offended almost. People like.
Well, they said they want to be the victim, so everyone they get some eyes on them, or they want to seem like they're morally superior to you, so they put you down for your mistakes, but no one's digging into their closet.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
You know how I know you're trash as a human being? You were born.
Yeah.
We're all not perfect.
Yeah.
This is it says in the fucking Bible that I barely believe in. Right? Man is flawed. We're trying to do our best. We have the original sin. We're trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, dude. I think people like to go to shows now and see and hear crazy shit.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that too. There's like edgelords, like where they go just to see how crazy someone.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a big thing, comedy now being an edgelord, which is fucked up because no one's ever accused me of it, but I'm concerned they would. Like, oh, he's trying to be an edgelord. I'm like, no, this has been my act since I started.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is the only act I've had. Very similar jokes going from the beginning here.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
How long have you been in it now?
4 years.
All right, nice.
Not too long.
So far, so good. Fucking got a show at the AHA. Great show on Sunday nights, folks. Check it out.
Sometimes it's great.
I always love it. I always have a good time there.
We have fun. Dude, you and I actually met. I was telling Jeff we met in Boston.
The first time.
Yeah,
Lenoci show.
That was fun.
Another Italian piece of shit.
I know.
Shout out Mike Lenoci.
Yeah, dude. You might be more Italian than Lenoci though.
Oh yeah, I mean he's from South Florida.
Yeah, dude.
No.
All those Italians in South Florida are just people that coming from Boston, New York.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Their family's already left. They retired down there, and he was sort of
exactly.
the end of the road for him. You want to get to a little? I do a little news at the end of the show.
Fuck yeah.
We'll get some news in here. All right, get your opinion on this. An OnlyFans model said, "This is what happened when I DM'd a bunch of NFL draft prospects." A woman who goes by Allison on a verified Twitter account claims to have messaged every offensive line prospect in the NFL draft in March. At the time, the anonymous OnlyFans star shared screen grabs that showed her DMing prospects like Luke Weipler, Cody Mauch, and Darnell Wright of Tennessee. In a separate tweet, she shared another screen grab of an alleged message with Wright, who appeared to be the only prospect that responded. In response to her message, which read, "Hey," Wright allegedly wrote, "Stankin' bitch."
Bro. Well, what?
So this OnlyFans model DM'd says 22 different offensive line draft prospects in the NFL. One responded, shout out to Darnell Wright, who called her a stankin' bitch.
Bro, why the O line though, dude?
She must be a size queen.
You're right. I just learned that term last week, dude. Size queen. I never knew what that meant until about a week
Yeah,
ago.
it must be a size queen.
Yeah, dude. Wow. She wants to get rammed, huh?
Well,
Online?
look, she obviously, I feel like she did it as a publicity stunt
Yeah. But
because she was hoping, because she was hoping that they would respond positively so she could have like some dirt and juice on them, you know? But one guy responded and just called her a stankin' bitch, which I love.
and it's funny that got out, too.
Yeah, you would want to hide that. I would
Yeah.
never tell anybody I did this.
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
So-
it didn't work out as planned. Never mind.
So she still broke that news?
She still broke the news, yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, but she said, like, oh, I was doing it as a prank to laugh with my girlfriends. No, you weren't. Because there are women out there, and OnlyFans models do this. I read a story about this a few months back. An OnlyFans model who women would pay her to DM their boyfriend or husband to see if he would respond, to like trap them.
Wow.
Which is so unfair.
That's not right.
Because think about it, if you've been married to a woman for 20 years and some smoking hot OnlyFans model DMs you, you're gonna respond.
And that goes.
You know, because it would never happen. You'd be like,
Yeah.
what is going on? What a lucky day.
That
you know,
goes
like,
back to what we were talking about earlier, dude. The most attractive part of somebody is if they're attracted to you.
Yes.
So if this OnlyFans girl likes me, I'm like, Jesus.
what are the odds of this? You know, I'm a 50-year-old loser, and this hot 26-year-old wants to bang me. I gotta respond. And then her wife pops up. What the fuck? You responding? I'm like, well, if fucking Tom Brady DM'd you, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure you
dude.
respond.
Exactly,
She's my
yeah.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I would. In the real world, she would never do it because you paid her to do it. She did it.
Exactly,
It's entrapment.
yeah.
It's
That is
entrapment. You
entrapment.
can't do that.
That shouldn't be allowed.
No,
That shouldn't be
your
allowed.
wife shouldn't get mad. Like, oh, I paid some celebrity, internet model to fucking DM you, and you responded. It's like, yeah, if I paid Ryan Gosling to send you a dick pic, you'd run over to this fucking Beverly Hills mansion.
Exactly.
Like, of course, like, because you would never think, what are the like? This is my one opportunity to hook up with that
It's
guy
an
or gal.
OnlyFans model. It's not like somebody you work with. It's not like a normal girl.
Yeah, that's what you got to. Yeah, that's what you got to worry about. If it's your fucking secretary, you know?
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Not some OnlyFans model.
Yeah.
Then you know it's a scam or a bot.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow, dude. I can't believe she DM'd only offensive linemen though. That's insane.
Well, if she was smart, she would have just went for the first round draft for all 32.
top 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go to the big 22 offensive linemen. Not all of them are first round picks.
Yeah.
Just go to the first round picks. They got the biggest paychecks.
Exactly.
Smarten up, lady.
Go to one. If you really, I mean, this is inside baseball. If you really want to extort somebody, go after one of the top picks with like a public girlfriend, like that guy Will Levis.
Yes.
Just be he's family man, great girlfriend. Dude, did you hear he puts mayo in his coffee?
What the fuck is that?
Did you hear that, Jeff?
That is some white person
No,
shit.
I've never heard of that.
Mayo in coffee?
Mayo in coffee?
I've heard of people putting like butter, like that like grass-fed butter, which
That's
is supposed to be good
that's
for you.
still not as bad as mayo.
Yeah, but mayo? Yeah, mayo's horrible.
Dude, I legit-
Mayo's bad on sandwiches.
He was supposed to be a top 10 pick. He didn't get picked to the second round.
Yeah, I would have bumped him down too for that fucking mayo and coffee bullshit.
I think that's. I honestly think that's what happened, bro. Because what else? Like, he's a great player. What else happened? And people were concerned that he puts mayo in coffee.
Yeah.
GMs were literally concerned. That's insane.
And look, to those guys that she did DM and they didn't respond, and the one guy who called her a stankin' bitch, kudos to you. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Because, every year you hear about, in every major sports league, about how all the draft prospects are warned about how quickly they're separated from their money and how the money's doesn't go as far as they think. Don't buy a house and a car right away with your first paycheck. Trying to avoid all these money-grubbing women. Sounds like they finally got the message.
Yeah.
One guy responded. He told her to go fuck herself.
But isn't it funny how she was trying to entrap somebody, kind of probably, right?
Yeah.
And if somebody responded kindly and like wanted to hook up with her, that's bad. But some guy called her a bitch. That's good. That makes no sense. That's the world we live in. It makes no sense.
Well, I take it as good news.
I like it, yeah,
some
but-
feminazi might be like, "How dare he call her that?" But what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, but it's flipped though, dude.
yeah, she's looking for it.
Yeah.
She's on the prowl there, and she got it thrown back in her face.
On the prowl.
On the prowl, baby. All right, what else we got next here? I got a good one. Oh yeah, have you heard about this? Oral sex is the leading factor in throat cancer epidemic in the United States, doctors say. Oral sex may be the biggest factor in the rise of throat cancer in the United States. Those with 6 or more lifetime oral sex partners are 8.5 times more likely to develop esophageal cancer than those who do not practice oral sex. 70% of throat cancers in the United States are caused by HPV. You know what? There's one cancer stat that I don't want to go down.
Yeah.
We need more oral sex. Bump it up. You know,
Yeah, dude.
we'll risk the cancer. I feel like people will be in a better mood if they got eaten out more. You know, like,
Yeah, but so you're getting cancer from oral sex?
yeah, it happened to Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
HPV is like, you know, what causes genital warts, but I guess it also can cause cancerous growths in your throat and later in life.
Wow.
Yeah, so Michael Douglas famously said, yeah, he got his throat cancer not from smoking for all those years, but from eating so much box.
I thought that was a joke.
No, he believes that.
Jesus
And look,
Christ.
this study confirms it. But like I said, dude, I'll take the 8.5 times increased risk of throat cancer
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
to keep having and giving oral sex. It's like saying, it's like, hey man, you know, like think about like with sugar. Sugar causes most cancers. We're not giving up sugar.
Yeah. Or if you want to be that guy, use it as an excuse. If you don't want to do it, be like, I don't want to get cancer.
Yeah, but I'll definitely give you oral throat cancer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't get throat cancer. You can.
Yeah, you can. Though. Yeah, I'll take care of you. I'll look after you while you're bedridden.
Yeah. We can't both have throat cancer.
Yeah, we can't both take care of each other on this one.
That's insane, though, dude. I didn't know that.
I wonder.
I thought that was a joke this whole time about Michael Douglas.
No, dude, that's 100% true. I wonder. Do you think we're having more oral sex now than in the past?
Yeah. I think everything has evolved since the past. I think
we're certainly eating more ass than we ate in the past.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure since the dawn of time, man was sticking his dick in every hole he could find. You know, like some of
I think it was more so just you're straight up like dude, 30, 40 years ago. I think it was more so just straight up missionary, normal sex. I think blowjobs came more into play the past like 20 years.
No, I think blowjobs have been around longer. Anal, I feel like I saw an increase in fashionability.
Really?
Butt stuff has definitely gone up. But I'm pretty sure people were sucking dick back in Roman times.
Really?
They talk about it, dude. The Greeks talk about it.
Yeah, back in the day, I mean, you have a hard dick, and it's like, hey, lady, put this in your mouth and see what happens. Like, have you done this before? I haven't either. And then this is like, you know, 6,000 BC, and it's like, holy shit, this feels amazing. It's like, I like it too good, baby.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
and
caveman
then it becomes a thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a caveman wasn't worried about wrong holing a chick. You know, like
dude, you ever think of the first person to like give a blowjob? How crazy that would be? Like, yeah, let me put my penis in your mouth, dude. That's so that's why I feel like it wasn't until like
chimps do it though.
For real,
dude. Dolphins fucking rape each other. The animal kingdom's a wild place, man. I mean, like, I don't think I don't think we invented any of these sexual deviancies. I just think we've taken them to another level.
Okay.
You know, I said, like, I'm pretty sure there was anal sex for forever, but the eating of the ass, that I think is, you know, in the last 20 years. Well, I think, maybe even last 10.
I think definitely.
Oral's been around since you could put anything in your mouth. I mean,
well, I'm saying I think it's definitely evolved, and we do more of it in the past 20 years because of porn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it's like in style now. We record people doing it.
That's how I feel about foot jobs. Like no one heard about it until all of a sudden became a category on Pornhub.
Yeah.
You know,
that's very recent. That's like past 5-10 years.
Yeah. I wonder what the next thing is going to be. You ever think about that, Anthony? Like what's the next big kink? So we had anal sex, oral anal, eating butt, spitting in the mouth, choking, foot jobs. What's the next one?
I'm trying to think what more could we do?
I know, right? Just
I feel like
committed relationship. That's the next big one.
You know, I think furries are going to make a comeback.
Furries? That might be it. Yeah, I could see that. Because the cosplay's blowing up now with all the Marvel Universe shit. That's a big thing.
Definitely. Do you ever see that episode of Entourage?
Oh, yeah.
I watched that. I was like, oh, I could see this happening again. I could see this being a thing.
You think pegging might move up? Would you let a girl peg you?
No.
Dude. For money?
No, dude. That would hurt so bad.
I don't know, man. Some women like it in the ass, and gay dudes love it. So I imagine there's got to be something to it.
Dude.
Not for me, but for you.
Yeah. What do they use? Like a dildo?
Strap on.
Yeah. Stupid question. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Nah, I couldn't. Dude, if you're gonna, the way my this is gonna sound pretty gay, but the way my brain, if you're gonna have a girl peg you,
Just get a dude.
God, fuck you, dude. That's the gayest thing I could have said.
Yeah, no, that does make sense. If you're into that, you might as well just fuck a guy already.
Yeah, right?
You know, like what?
Right? Play for the other team real quick.
They already come with the parts you like.
Yeah,
That's what you're into. Just go fuck a dude.
The real thing.
It's a real toe in the water for being gay.
Yeah.
A pegging. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Yeah, if you're not doing it for payment, you're dabbling in gayhood.
100%. 100%.
Here's the last one. This is kind of sad. New research suggests that French fries may be linked to depression. A research team in Hangzhou, China, found that frequent consumption of fried food, especially fried potatoes, was linked with a 12% higher increase in anxiety and 7% higher risk of depression than in people who don't eat any fried foods. Dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, like fucking French fries, man. It's like ice cream, causes you to get fat, but it brings joy into your life.
Yeah. Right.
But it's kind of weird. Like French fries are good and they make me happy, but then they make me sad. How does that work?
I could see that 100%, dude.
Well, I'm sad I'm fat.
Oh, dude.
Getting fat after the meal, I'm sad.
Yeah.
But during the eating of the fries, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, but I could definitely see that, right?
Yeah, bad diet, you're depressed, anxious. Yeah.
100%. The quickest way to not be depressed is to have a good diet, right?
Well,
even Jim Carrey said all these people complaining about being depressed, but you're not getting enough sunlight, you're not getting enough vitamins, you're not getting enough healthy foods, you're not even giving yourself a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Right? So
when I went to I used to go to therapy regularly. I haven't since I moved out to LA, one, because of the pandemic and I was broke, and two, because I haven't found a therapist out here, but I was going regularly back in Boston. And, when I went into it, I was like, listen, man, I'm not here to talk about my fucking parents and, my mom and my dad. I want actionable things that'll bring my anxiety level down and make me feel overall a better sense of wellness. He's like, all right, well, I'll tell you the 5 things right now. And he goes, exercise, sleep, meditation or prayer, talk therapy, and acts of service and gratitude. So those are the 5 things that have statistically been proven to increase your sense of well-being.
Huh. Okay.
It's like, so if you do those 5, it's like, so we'll work on those 5 things. I'm like, thank you. That's what and I feel like exercise and diet goes right in with that, right? Like if you're getting 100%. Enough rest, if you're getting, outside to get some exercise, you just feel better. You never feel worse coming out of the gym than when you go in.
100%.
Yeah. So
sweating.
like, whenever I'm having a tough time in life or whatever, I make a point to like try to get to the gym more, to try and go on hikes. Because, it's like, look, I can't afford a therapist, but I can definitely afford a walk in the woods. That doesn't cost me shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know what everybody can afford, which is the best, is just sunlight, dude. Just laying out in the sun. I think that's one of the best things you can do.
And mushrooms.
Yeah, you're right.
Mushrooms are tremendous.
Mushrooms.
Have you done mushrooms before?
I have not yet.
Oh, you been in LA?
I probably will eventually.
Honestly, let me ask you, Tony.
This sounds like a very cute answer, but dude, I honestly don't think my brain is fully developed yet. I'm only 25 years old. I don't think.
That's the second time you called me old, Anthony.
I know, dude. I feel like I could fuck up my development if I do it right now.
What, you think you're gonna get taller?
Yeah, you're right.
My dick's gonna grow if I don't take mushrooms.
You're right.
Yeah, right.
You're right.
So what drugs have you done out in LA? Just
I
weed?
just smoke weed, yeah.
Okay. And you drink, right?
I drink, yeah.
Okay. So I'm glad, because the California sober thing is fucking lame.
Dude, and I can pretty honestly say, I was having this conversation the other night. I could very honestly say I'll never do anything else. I'll probably try mushrooms, but besides, I'll never do cocaine.
Why is that?
Growing
Not
up,
that I'm trying to make you fucking do drugs. I'm just curious.
No. Growing up, my dad was pretty strict on that type of stuff, and I could never. I couldn't see myself as like a drug guy. I couldn't see myself as a cocaine guy. And plus, I was tight with Rico and Fu a couple years back.
Yeah.
They passed with the
fentanyl
thing.
Yeah.
So that whole thing really scared me for cocaine.
Well, that's the scariest part, is that you can't get you don't know that the drugs you're paying for are the drugs that you want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in a weird way, if they were legal, at least you wouldn't die of a accidental fentanyl overdose, because it would be actually cocaine. You would know what you're getting.
Yeah.
So that definitely does make it scary, and definitely does give hesitation. But I can't recommend mushrooms enough. I mean, it really makes, it's the only drug I've ever done that made me a better person. You know what I'm saying? It really does do something.
I was supposed to do them with my ex-girlfriend's brother, then she broke up with me. So
all right, well, we'll do mushrooms, dude. I'll take you out to do mushrooms. I go out. I put Jeff Dye was curious about it for years. And finally, during the pandemic, he's like, oh, let's do them. I'm like, all right. So I got a bunch of mushrooms. We drove out to Death Valley and had the fucking best night. And he's like, yeah. And I explained to Jeff, he listened to Sam Harris's podcast on doing psychedelics and, a few, Jordan Peterson and all that. So he was like, super intrigued to get himself ready. We're driving out there and he's like, I'm explaining to him, like, look, they're also, they're not addictive. It's not like, Molly, where you do Molly and you crash, so you do more Molly to stay up. It's like when you're on mushrooms, and then when you're done, you're not thinking about doing them again for a while. I mean, it's like there's no physical part to it like that.
That's good.
But as soon as we're on mushrooms, as soon as we're starting to peak, Jeff goes, I don't know what you're talking about. This stuff isn't addictive. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, I only ever want to feel like this forever. He's like, this is reality. That was not reality. I'm like, oh no, trust me. This is you can't go around life like this. Like this is not.
Well, would you ever microdose?
I was thinking about trying it. I was talking about my roommate yesterday. I would, but I just like being on them. I like the rush of the mushrooms. I don't like, and kind of edging it.
Okay.
It's like, why would I want to, use a maintenance dose of mushrooms when I can save it for when I want to have, experience with my friends, out camping or something, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I thought about it. I'm just curious as to how to manage it. How much do you take? Right? Because my dumb ass, first day I'm taking too much. I'm like, I can't do anything like this.
Dude, I had a friend recently do mushrooms and he said it was the worst. He got super sick from it.
Oh, well.
Just throwing up. So I don't know.
That's your friend being a bitch.
You got to do it right.
I'm kidding.
There's a right way to do it, right?
Well, yeah. So they talk about set and setting. So you want to. Your mindset and the setting you're in are important, right? Okay. You have to. You want to be with someone who has experience with them. So if you have any sort of anxiety or whatever, they can tell you how it's going to go. And then you want to be in a setting that you're happy with. Like you don't want, I never do mushrooms. I never go to fucking music festivals or rock concerts and do mushrooms. I don't want to do it because I like 4 people or less. I like to be outside.
Okay.
So I go camping, or we go to my buddy's pool, and we go in the backyard and Sunday afternoon and eat mushrooms and kind of, lay out, listen to music. So I like doing stuff like that. But I had friends like, oh, let's go to fucking, let's go to Coachella and eat mushrooms. Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm standing in the desert for 4 days, sweat my tits off with a bunch of strangers on mushrooms. Like, I don't want any of these people around me. I want to be on my couch. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know what kind of setting you feel comfortable in, and you want to be in a good mindset with people around you that you trust the first time you do it. And then once you get experience, I've eaten by myself, which is great, man.
Really?
Oh, I love doing that, dude. I did it a couple times in the pandemic. My roommate was out of town with some friends. I was like, oh, let me eat some mushrooms and, cruise around my fucking roof deck and, make myself a burger up there and see what's going on.
Oh.
Hang out and watch the stars.
Is that nice. Weird being alone on it?
No, dude, you giggle. It's great. Your mind goes, I mean, you're not alone. You're with the whole fucking universe is in your head. I mean, I've never felt less lonely in my life than when I'm on mushrooms.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, your brain goes in all sorts of directions that you couldn't even imagine. It's cool.
That's awesome.
You close your eyes, you see stuff.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, definitely don't do them the first time by yourself. Like,
no,
make sure you've had that setting first.
You want to do
once
it with a couple.
Once you feel comfortable, do it. By yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, but definitely get a couple friends. But it's fun. I recommend it. Highly recommend it.
How many times have you done it?
Oh shit, probably 24 times in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. It's not that hard. I've never had it's not like acid where you get flashbacks, shit like that.
But every time, do you have an awakening almost?
No, it varies. Sometimes you just get the giggles, which is great. You're just laughing at your friends, telling jokes. One time I had great visuals, which was awesome. And every time I feel like my body just feels, I feel like my whole body's like jello. Like it doesn't really, I feel like I'm just a head on a stick almost.
Wow.
My body's my body's very loose. My anxiety's way down.
Really?
Which I mean, usually I'm fucking wound up,
Yeah.
I'm very relaxed. And it varies every time. And you do different things with it. Like I've gone hiking, which is kind of cool. And then I've watched meteor showers, which is also awesome. Going swimming is fun. I mean, it's just different things you do with it.
Interesting. Yeah. Why do you think you have anxiety as a guy?
Why? Because the world is the world, dude. Yeah. I think a lot of people say, "Oh, you have anxiety." Yeah, stress and anxiety are normal, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm just in touch. Yeah, I'm just in touch with it. But the idea that I'm supposed to live a stress-free life, it's like that's bullshit, man.
Yeah.
You go outside, look at a squirrel. That thing is fucking wound up. Like looking over its shoulder, looking for nuts. Every other animal is struggling. The idea that human beings aren't to struggle at all is a little bit of a fallacy. But I just think I have a lighter trigger than most.
Okay.
And I just got to learn how to deal with it.
Okay.
I mean, that's my cross to bear.
Interesting. Okay.
I worry about the future. I don't think about the past a lot. I worry about the future.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things that happen. It's like, what the fuck? I can't do anything about
Straight
that,
up.
you know?
I mean, as someone who grew up Catholic, I'm no longer Catholic, but like I will say that the Catholicism part, that this is just my experience, but the Catholicism part is part of what held me back from doing shrooms and weed and even like maybe a little bit of blow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, once you can find yourself in a really good place to where you can kind of let go of a lot of the things that have happened in your past and open up your future, and once you've done your shrooms, and then whenever you come out of it, you just feel it just feels very liberating.
Yeah, it's kind of like washes the slate for you a little bit.
Absolutely,
you know?
It's better than confession.
Yeah, way better, way better. And people, you know, I've heard that like depression is linked to ruminating about the past, and anxiety is linked to having concerns about the future. You know, and when you're on mushrooms, all that kind of disappears because all you're concerned with is like you're in the now. You're never more in the current place that you are in than when you're on mushrooms.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, highly recommend it. All listeners, get yourself some mushrooms.
Yeah. Might have to.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Dude, what do you got coming up? This is coming out next week.
Next week?
Yep.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm traveling a lot in May. So next Tuesday, May 9th, I go to Dallas.
Yes.
in
TK's?
Addison Improv.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Who you go with?
Will Burkhart.
All right,
And
Willie
there's a
Burkhart.
special guest on that show. I'll tell you after. I'm pumped to do a show with this guy.
Gotta get him on this podcast.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And then I'm literally going from Dallas the next day. I'll be in opening for Lenoci in San Francisco.
Sick.
And then we're doing a weekend in Sacramento.
Nice. Oh,
And
going back home.
stay
That'd be
at my
fun.
mom's
That'd
house.
be great,
That'd
dude.
be cool. And then I'm coming back here. Then end of the month, I'm going to Chicago for like a week.
Sick, dude.
Doing Zany's.
With Will?
Yeah, Old Town and Rosemont with Will.
Dude, you're gonna love it. I love that Zany.
I've never been to Zany's.
Oh
I'm
my
pumped,
god.
dude. And I'm doing a Don't Tell out there too. That's gonna be the best week
Sick,
of my life.
dude. That's
Zany's
awesome.
and you done Don't Tells before?
I've done them in Boston. I haven't done any in here or anywhere else. I got to hit up Michael Turner, but I don't know who else you know. But I'll do any of them. I don't give a fuck.
I've done the.
I'll do Vegas.
Vegas is, dude, the coolest show I've ever done.
Yeah.
It's insane. Those and everybody there wants to laugh. It's like they curate this amazing comedy vibe. It's the best.
I like it.
What about you? What do you got going on?
That's right. Good question, dude. I'll be at the Boston Comedy Festival, 16th through 20th. Back in my triumphant return to Boston. This weekend I'll be in La Jolla, but you guys won't hear it until after the fact. No, but I'll be in Toledo next weekend, Boston the following week. And then, I got a ton of Florida dates. We're doing Naples in June, we're doing Boca in June, and we're doing Port Charlotte in June in Florida. So if you want to see all my dates on the road, just go to jeffdye.com. as I always say.
That was hilarious.
And you can find out where I am, guys. All right. That's it for this one, guys. Thanks for doing this,
Thank
Tony.
you for having me, dude.
All right, man. All right, guys. That's it for this week. Peace.